We're live.
All right. Thank you, Ben. All right. At this time, I'd like to call to order the North Canton City Council meeting, August 24th, 2020, via teleconference. Opening prayer, Mark, Dominic.
I'll take it.
I'll
take it. I've actually prepared some for tonight.
All right, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and
Mark.
You bet. I took a piece of a prayer from an Archbishop Charles Chaplain, who delivered this invocation to the Philadelphia City Council meeting, actually, in October of 2011. I thought it was pretty good. So a couple of things he said here. Leadership requires two virtues that seem very simple until they become very inconvenient: honesty and courage. All of you have earned the right to be here today by winning the trust of the people. But along with that honor comes a duty of humility, integrity, and public service. So let's settle our hearts for just a moment in prayer. And he goes on. God of justice and mercy, thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our city. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with clarity and restraint. Give us the spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the leaders your people need. Help us to see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of your human person. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen. Very good. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, at this time, if you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to
the flag,
to the
United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, folks. At this time, Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Revolt.
Here.
Member Warren.
Here.
Member Peters.
Here.
Member Foltz.
Here.
Member Schroya.
Here.
Member Shreda.
Here.
Member Fonte.
Here.
7 present.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much. And well, first of all, may I have a motion and a second to add one item to consideration? That is the resignation letter of Timothy L. Fox, Director of Law.
So Revolt moves.
Volt seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Opposed. All right. Motion carries. All right. At this time, for your consideration, I need a motion and a second to approve as presented minutes from July 6th, 2020, Committee of the Whole, July 8th, 2020, Special Council Meeting, July 13th, 2020, Council Meeting, July 7th, 2020, Council Meeting, and finally, the resignation letter from Tim Fox, Director of Law.
Motion to approve as presented. Foltz.
Second, Stroyer.
Do we have a second? Oh, second, Stroy. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All righty. Motion carries. At this time, we have recognition of visitors. There's a 5-minute time limit. Ben will be giving me the heads up at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Just ask that you keep it professional and cordial. And over to you at this point.
First is Mr. Joseph McQueen. Mr. McQueen, are you there? Mr. McQueen? Mr. McQueen, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes. When you're ready, sir.
Alrighty, well, I'm here to talk to you guys about a broad spectrum of things, and the first thing I'm here to talk about is a little thing called respect, and respect's a two-way street. In order to get respected, you need to give respect, and when the patrolman Aikman, by order of his sergeant, want to try to write me a false, unjust dogs at large ticket that my lawyer Dan Funk is busy fighting on court on top of fighting for probate court because, my father passed away last October. My father worked for this town. My father went bankrupt to have a house in this town twice. And, now that he's passed away and I've paid the property tax for the year and I continue to pay the utility bills and help, generate a couple tax dollars to the city that helps run our great local economy and whatnot, I find it very disrespectful when these cops try to write me a dogs at large ticket when my dogs were never at large. They were, inside a gated area with their leashes on and whatnot. And walking my dogs this past weekend, I saw an actual dog at large behind the high school. And I called that into the police department and I took a video of it and everything to give to my lawyer, Dan Funk, to help get this case thrown out. And I hope, I left a voicemail to the patrolman. I said, you guys should have gave me a warning, and I hope we can work past this issue and just put it in the past. We all make mistakes, and all I kindly ask, I had to give my lawyer $300. I had to give the Stark County Health Department. I had to pay my vet $58 to fill out that paperwork. And I have to spend already $90 on Uber because I don't drive. So all I'm kindly looking for is to be reimbursed what I had to pay for to defend my innocence. And this isn't the first time the police department has tried to illegally arrest me. Officer Atea tried to illegally arrest me for using the dogwood pool bathroom. And my former lawyer, now magistrate of Canton, Adam Wilgus, got the case thrown out. And I'm not afraid to dig up that old case and look into a lawsuit. If it helps generate income, I can invest into Dogwood Park. And if it's a lawsuit that helps get Dogwood Park fixed up, as I say, God bless it. Because, this town's very important for my sobriety. And, you guys can try to push me out of town or whatever, but I'm not going anywhere. And, my lawyer's busy in probate court trying to, get the mortgage in my name. And I've been doing my part of paying the property tax and utility bills. And, I'm staying sober from alcohol. And, I'm getting very sick and tired of being harassed and discriminated by, police officers when I'm the police card carrying member myself, and I try to explain that to the patrolman and sergeant. So, I'm hoping, to help the council and the mayor, you guys can, I got court September 21st, 2020 at 9 or 10 a.m. And maybe we can just get this thing pardoned and we can, you guys kindly reimburse me for money that I had to waste on defending my innocence, because I'll never get my time back that's been wasted going to court 3 times in the morning when I could be out working out or walking my dogs. So, as a Christian man, I'm trying to work past this. And, Mr. Soretta wants to start this prayer with leadership and whatnot. And, I'm an active leader at the skate park. I've donated more this summer in skateboards and sneakers and wheels than most of you council members have done in the past 18 years. And it's a damn shame that the skate park hasn't been fixed up, or the basketball court or even the jungle gym has been fixed up in the past 18 years. So I hope we can all just put our egos aside and just come together for renovating this park for 50 more years to come. Because if the skate park's been here for 18 years, as long as I'm living, I'm going to make sure this park's going to be here for another 50 years for, kids to take pride into, like I take pride into this park, to the people who helped got it here. And, I don't know if I'm ever going to get married or have kids, but, one thing I'd like to leave this world behind, when it's my time to go join my father and his father and meet Jesus Christ, is to leave, a nice skate park that helped made me the man I am today. And I wish the people I grew up there would get their heads out of their butt and come donate $5,000 with me. Like I have put aside that I'm ready to donate, but I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself. And trying to fix up this park the past 18 years, it's like when our great president Donald Trump, was trying to fix up that ice rink in New York City. And
Hey, Joe.
if the
Hey,
town
Joe.
can't figure it out,
Hey, Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
what?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ben?
We can hear you.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
past the 5-minute mark.
All right. Well, the last thing I have to say is I'm not afraid to fix up Dogwood Park like our great president Donald Trump fixed up that ice rink in New York City. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get it fixed, whether, your politicians want to put your egos aside or not. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, next is Amy Koba. Amy, are you there? You're on mute, so you'll need to unmute yourself. Amy?
Ben, she's still on mute.
Yeah, she is, and I've asked her to unmute, but she hasn't. So
you might have to tell her how to
How
do
about if we move on to Mr.
Come back to
Blubaugh?
her.
yeah,
Yep.
well, Mr. Blubaugh? Mr. Blubaugh, are you there?
it. He's there.
When you're ready. Mr. Blubaugh?
Hey, Ben, can you tell them how to hit mute on their phone? How they unmute?
It might be on the computer.
Well, they're all on phone calls.
Yeah, from the phone, if they tap the screen with their finger, hopefully they'll see where it says mute or unmute.
Yes, and there should be a little icon of a microphone.
Right.
So like if you, on the
Why
left
don't you
side.
give them a call? Ben, why don't you give them a call and take them through it, please?
Is there anybody on the call, Joe, or anybody? Amy, you there?
Hey, Ben, are they both still on mute?
He's probably talking to them.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
We'll need a simple tutorial maybe for the future. We could do a screen recorder so they can see how easy it is to mute and unmute.
Yeah, but Mr. Blueball's been on numerous times. He knows how to do it. Jeff, are we able to move on before and then come back?
Well,
We can't really talk
Let's
about
give
something
Ben
these
a
folks
moment
might
here
be
to-
talking about.
Okay.
So reached Mr. Bluebaugh, and he's going to recall in. I tried recalling Miss Koba, but her phone did not connect. So, Miss Koba, if you can hear me, please try calling back in again.
Okay, I'm here, Joe Bluebaugh.
We'll take a few moments and wait for Joe.
Joe's
All right,
on.
Joe.
There he is.
He's
Joe's
here.
on. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you. Can I speak?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, Joe Bluebaugh, 256 Glenwood Street, Southwest. Welcome back from the summer break. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm here just to talk again about something really important to me, the city trees in North Canton. I appreciate the time that many of you spent listening to me recently, meeting with me, reading my emails, and so on, and I'm just asking for a few more minutes. I think the fact that the petition that I started now has 643 signatures, the petition to save the trees of Bitzer, is an important number, 643, and so I think it's an important issue that needs to be addressed. The trees owned by the city are an important part of the city's infrastructure, just as are its buildings, streets, and utilities. The city should maintain its trees just as it maintains its other infrastructure. The state of Ohio offers professional, independent, free technical advice to help communities like North Canton maintain their urban forests. But after repeated requests by many people, including members of city council, the city has not taken advantage of this ODNR service. For some reason, the city administration refuses to access this free, professional, independent technical service. The city has asked one or two arborists to give advice about the trees of Bitzer Park, but why ask a favor of a business person who has conflicting interests when there's truly independent professional service available free of charge? It appears the city administration does not consider its trees to be part of its infrastructure. In fact, it looks like the city considers the trees to be an impediment to some of its plans. For instance, in spite of all the citizen recommendations, the city went ahead with its plans for Bitzer Park with only minor adjustments and were stopped only because the bids came in too high. Also, in spite of all the citizen recommendations about Bitzer Park, the current plans for Dogwood Park call for destroying many large trees to do the most unpark-like thing, expand the parking lot. Literally, paving paradise to put up a parking lot, as Joni Mitchell's song says. The song goes on to say, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone." Let's not let that happen to us. Let's recognize what we have in those trees before they're gone. Would the city consider removing the infrastructure of the nearby fire station to expand the parking lot? Then why would it consider removing the infrastructure of the trees to do so? I urge the city to change its mindset about its trees, to recognize that its trees are another valuable infrastructure that the city administration is responsible to maintain for its citizens. 643 people have signed their names asking the city to do so, and I urge you to take advantage of the free services offered by ODNR to find the best way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
I believe we have Miss Koba again. Miss Koba, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, praise the Lord. Yes.
We sure can.
No,
All
thank
right,
you
when
for
you're ready,
having
Miss
me and
Koba.
being patient. I was just calling to address some repairs that need to be done at the skate park and the basketball court. I'm unaware of if there's any city funds for that. Mr. Mulqueen mentioned a booster club. Again, that sounds like a great idea. I don't know how you go forward with that, but mostly my concern was like there's cracks in the pavement. And of course, my son lives there from like March to November. He's a skater and he wants all new equipment. He wants ledges, like concrete boxes, I guess you could describe them as. And I'm like, well, I don't know if the city has money for all these things, but I just wanted to address at the very least some of the repairs that need to be done and how to go forward in finding money for these things if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't go, well, and that's it. I mean, it's a great park. Like I said, my one son literally lives there. It's just a wonderful asset to this community. My other son plays basketball. It's like invaluable. My husband and I were talking about moving once, and we're like, we can't because of the skate park, because our kids can ride their bikes up there and, just spend the day with their friends, walk to Family Dollar, get a $1 water gallon or whatever, a gallon of water. And it's just so nice for them to have and the kids in this area to have. So, we're really grateful for the park. And that's it.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
All right, those are our only speakers, Mr. President.
All right, Ben, thank you very much, sir. And we will move on at this time to old business. May I have a motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 40-20?
So moved. Foltz.
Second, Schroeder.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, motion carries. Ben, I'm going to ask you, is that all right to read these for tonight?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Administration to establish rental rates for city-owned buildings, facilities, parks, sports fields, and portions thereof.
All right, thank you very much. Chairman Foltz.
Yeah, thank you. It says as reads, I don't have anything to add. We're just giving the authorization to administration to adjust these as needed. And Pat, if you have anything else to add?
I do not. Nothing has changed since we last discussed it.
Okay. I motion we approve the second reading.
Second by revolt.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Doug. On to new business. May I have a motion and a second to read by title only? Ordinance 42-20.
Schroeder moves.
Where in second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Canton through the Board of Control to renew a personal services agreement for computer server, network, workstation monitoring, maintenance and support, remote and on-site support, malware protection, web browsing protection, patch management, dark web monitoring, and security awareness education for the city's critical, complex municipal infrastructure equipment. And given the critical nature of this agreement, to do so without advertising for bids as provided by Charter Section 405, Contracting and Purchasing, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
All right, thank you. Chairwoman Warren.
Okay, as it says, Ben, you did a really nice job. I couldn't really add anything if I wanted. The only thing I will say, and Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we will have a 2-year guarantee in the pricing of this, so we won't have to do it again, which we thought was really advantageous for the city.
That is correct, Stephanie. A 2-year agreement with no increase in the cost from the previous contract.
Great. And I know we've been really pleased with them since we had looked into this in the first place. So if no other questions, I move that we adopt.
Revolt seconds.
All right, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. May I have a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
So moved, Warren.
Revolt seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion carries. And finally, a motion second to adopt ordinance 4220 under suspension of the rules.
Revolt moves.
Second,
Schroeder
Warren.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion carries. May I have a motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 4320?
Schroeder second. Schroeder moves.
Warren, second.
Warren seconds. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds of the city of North Canton to be appropriated for current expenses during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
All right. Thank you. Chairwoman Warren.
Okay. This is just, we do this every year, and it is with the water and backflow. And I know we all get those letters in the mail, and you better do them or you're going to get in trouble by the city. So just keeps us up with everything. Right, Pat?
Right.
If no other questions, I move to adopt.
Revolt seconds.
All right. We have a motion. Some favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion carries. May I have a motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 44-20?
Revolt moves.
Schroeder second.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
Second,
Santa.
Okay.
You need a vote.
Oh, gotcha. All right. I'm kind of lapsed into my audio here. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with McKinley Apple Grove Limited, thereby accepting its maintenance bond to guarantee certain maintenance improvements at the Sanctuary Phase 4 development.
Okay. And just of clarity, this is on your agenda. It's under finance and property. It's actually street and alley. So, Chairman Fonte.
We talked about this last week. It's just basically the phase that they already did. It's just they guarantee that they're making sure the utilities are conforming to all the things to make sure they meet the city standard. That's all. I move that we pass it, unless Pat or Rob has something to say about it.
We're good.
That was fine. Thank you.
Hold seconds.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
All right. A motion carries. Moving on, department reports. Deputy Director of Administration.
I have no report. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Director of Administration.
Yes. I guess I would like to opine. Just as a matter of clarification for the community at large, when the park project design phase. I shouldn't even say that. The park project exploration phase was first thought of several years ago. I think it was 2017. We submitted, a request to the state for capital budget allocation, and to make sure that we got the most that there was to get, and that we would fare well against all the other competitive interests for limited amount of funds. The city put together something more than was just a sheet of paper type asking for money. We put together a park plan. As you recall, this was subject of a dozen or more meetings back in 2017, front page of the paper, boards put up throughout City Hall that were left up for the council meetings for months. And, the nature of that was that these were concepts. It was concepts to show the legislators in Columbus that we were serious about this plan, and that if they gave us this money, they awarded it to us, that we would be good stewards and actually spend the money, unlike some other communities that get the money and never spend it. That was not the case here. So the initial renderings, drawing, concepts were that. They were nothing that was etched in stone, nothing that was really vetted seriously, other than to award to or to give to the legislature an idea that this was what we wanted to do. And so the legislature put that into effect for under a line item of park improvements, and it left it to our discretion to figure out what that eventually was. And that's the part that we've gone through, or trying to go through since then. And where we are with Dogwood now is that it hasn't even been designed yet. We're still in the phases of trying to figure things out there, talking with various vendors and consultants to kind of come up with eventually something that we can do. The Deputy Director Farina is meeting with various groups that are interested in the playground, the inclusivity of it, and so on. So we hope to be able to get through that in the next few months, so that at some point here, perhaps at the beginning of the year, be in a position that we have something to actually bring back to City Council so that we can send it out for bid. That's the plan. So to say that, to accuse us of going up and murdering trees in Dogwood, that's not the case. That's just hype designed to get a certain intent. There isn't even anything there to do. I don't disagree with Mr. Blueball regarding the trees, and that they are a valuable infrastructure, and to suggest otherwise is not accurate of the administration's position. But keep in mind that decades of neglect are not something that can be easily turned around in a very short order, but it's not something that we're not willing to undertake. As it relates to the skate park, and Mrs. Cobaugh, we agree that the skate park is in need of a new look, actually something that is more quiet and conducive, and all cement skate park, and we're working on that, and perhaps a new location for that, one where it could be more expansive. And we do believe that there could be funds available from within our park improvement project. So this is something that is under consideration as we speak. That concludes my report. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you. Mayor, you're up.
Yes, good evening, Council. Thank you very much for those that are listening tonight, and I appreciate the comments again from the people who were recognized as our visitors. I just want to touch on a few things. First of all, I want to thank Tim Fox for his service to the city of North Canton for the last 9 years. And I wish him all the best as he goes on with his future and career. I'd like to bring the attention today was the first day of school for North Kansas City schools and the beginning for St. Paul's Catholic Church, Catholic school. I won't go into all the grades that that'll be taking place here on Monday and Tuesday for our students returning. I had the opportunity to visit all the elementary schools this morning, and I have to give a shout out to Orchard Hill Elementary School for their beautiful arch that they had of orange and black balloons and white balloons there, and greeting the kids when they coming off their buses, and all the parents that were and teachers in their parking lots, navigating kids into school, meeting them right up front. I've observed the staff and the students wearing their facial coverings and the bus drivers. So hopefully it's a good start of a school year and a safe one for everybody. You know, there's always the issue that comes up, and many of you council people probably get these questions too. It's stopping for school buses. And I need to bring this to your attention, okay? Folks, if you're listening, remember, when you're on the road with fewer than 4 lanes, all traffic approaching a stopped school bus from either direction must stop at least 10 feet from the front or the rear of the bus and remain stopped until the bus begins to move or the bus driver signals you, the motorist, to proceed. So on a road that's less than 3 lanes. So look at East Maple Street. It's 3 lanes. It's less than that. It's less than 4. Folks, you got to stop in both directions, okay? The issues that we run into, and you see them, folks, and council members, is on Main Street and Everhard and Apple Grove, and we have 4-lane of traffic there. So remember, if the bus is stopped on a street with 4 or more lanes, only traffic proceeding in the same direction as the bus must stop. I know this is confusing. You still see people stopping. So if you just remember the rule, 3 lanes or less, you got to stop, okay? And of course, if it's on a divided highway, such as Route 30, something like that, or Route 62, you don't have to stop because the bus is required to pick up students on their side. So I hope that clarifies things. I'm sure that the question will come up, but I've seen near accidents almost occur on Everhard or Apple Grove and Everhard and Main Street because people they don't understand the rules for stopping for a stopped school bus. So something on safety there. Also, I want to welcome back Walsh University, their students and faculty. They moved 900 students in on the campus this whole last week, and their classes start this Wednesday, August the 26th. And if you've been out there at Market and the corner of East Maple Street, their new clock tower is nearing completion at that corner, and it's really going to, I think, add a little something extra to the university and really make that corner very, very attractive. Just one other thing, you know, census takers are still in our community. I saw some walking just the other day on 7th Street. I just want to remind everybody that September the 30th is the last day for households to self-respond online or by phone or by mail for responding to the census. And that is very critical for us. And as our council knows, it helps with the infrastructure and improvements for our city. So we've been very good. I know we've been as high as 79% response, but I'd like to get that even higher, and so that we'll have a better impact and hopefully an opportunity to get funding in the future for our infrastructure and projects we have for the betterment of our community. And remember, those census takers, they have identification on them. So if someone visits your home to collect information for the 2020 census, check for a valid ID and a photograph. They'll have a U.S. Department of Commerce watermark with an expiration date. And the census carriers will also carry a Census Bureau bag and other equipment with the Census Bureau logo. Just want to, that got a little confusing because we're not allowing solicitors right now for the city of North Canton through the end of the year for sure, due to the COVID-19 situation. So I just wanted to bring those few points up to you, and I'll let our engineer, Rob Graham, talk about some of our road improvements, But folks, thank you much for your time. President Peters and council, thank you for the privilege me to just share those few things with you tonight. Thank you very much. And may all of you, again, stay safe and keep well.
Thank you.
All right, Director of Finance.
Thank you. I just wanted to give a brief overview of our income tax collections. Since the April filing deadline was delayed by the IRS until August, we now have those numbers in, and the city of North Canton is right around 3% to the good over last year from August until last year of April. So we are still going to be monitoring that through year end. We're entering budget season now, preparing the budget for next year. And next year, I believe, is when we're going to see even a further decline, which is a reporting on the 2020 tax year. So we're going to keep our eye on that as we build the budget for next year. We're going to remain conservative, and I'll keep you updated as we see any changes come through.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gina. Okay, up next, Engineer Graham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since we last met, we wrapped up the 3 projects we were working on at that time. That was the Apple Grove repaving, our Northfield sanitary sewer replacement project, and also the Portage repaving. Wrapped that up last week. Still got 3 more to go this late summer and fall season. The first is the Hill reconstruction. We started that one actually 4 weeks ago today. And our contractor is making very good progress. We've had great weather, and I don't want to jinx anything, but we're a little ahead of schedule based on what he laid out at his pre-construction meeting. Our second project yet this year to complete is our Big East Maple Street enhancement project. Central Allied's our contractor there, and they've completed their layout of all, the staking and whatnot. And we had a site walkthrough meeting last week with the administrator and myself to kind of go over final locations of streetlights and walk and whatnot. And we really hope that they get started this week on that project, on the sidewalk part. The other component of that is the Stark County Engineers East Maple Street roadway bridge. That sub is looking at starting around Monday, September 14th. And with that one will have a 45-day closure of that structure. And the detour will be Marquardt, Apple Grove, and Market Avenue. And of course, we'll keep you posted as we get closer to that date. And our last project for this fall is our Pittsburgh water line, where we had the $250,000 of CDBG grant. The Stark County Board of Commissioners actually opened our bids for that project last Tuesday, and I was quite happy with that. I had the project estimated at about $795,000. We had 5 bidders. 2 were below my estimate. 1 was pretty much at it, and 2 were above my estimate. So that's always good when it works out that way. And our low bidder was significantly lower, even under the second bid by $95,000. Our low bidder was Superior Paving, and their bid was $596,577.55. So a very low bid, almost $200,000 under my estimate. And commissioners are looking to give them their notice to proceed in mid-September. That's also our East Hill contractor. So they are excited to finish East Hill and jump over to Pittsburgh probably around the end of September. Unless there's any questions, that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Hey, Rob, I have a question.
Yes,
do you feel like we're moving pretty well on East Hill?
I do. I think an example is Superior thought they'd have 6 weeks in the storm sewer system. They got it in. They finished it last Wednesday in 3.5 weeks.
Oh, great.
Okay. Yeah, we actually are excavating for the curb and gutter on the south side of the road. And we get that in Thursday and Friday, if the weather permits. We got a lot of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely noticed how fast they seem to be moving. And many people are just really excited about that connectivity up to North Main. So that's great. And the Northfield project turned out great as well. So thanks for all your work on that.
Thank you. Thank you. We're very happy with how that one turned out.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Council Clerk, Ben?
Yes, all I have is today, after some unexpected delays due to me getting sick, council's new intern, Margie Straub, started today. And she's here with us for her baptism of fire with a council meeting on day one.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Can Margie tell us a little bit about herself?
Yeah, hi. I am a senior at Kent State University studying conflict management with a minor in human resource management.
Okay.
Great. And do you live in town or are you up?
So I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live in Kent to go to school at the university. And then I commute into North Canton.
Oh, that's great. Well, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited.
Good.
We're going to ask you by Christmas, if that's the case.
Depends how many little research projects you give her.
Right. That's good to know. Thank you.
Daryl, go easy on him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ben has already
Thank you, Margie.
warned her.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all for me?
Okay, next up, yep, that's it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Next up, council reports, Member Fultz.
Thank you. Appreciate Administrator Diorio's comments about the skate park and our park improvements here. You know, we have a great park system here in North Canton, and I remember when I advocated for that skateboard facility, and it wasn't well received, if I remember at the time. And it's great to see that kids are using it. And, you know, when we have recreational amenities, we have to put more money back into them. So obviously, if it's not part of the master plan for Dogwood or to be located somewhere else, I'd ask council to support improvements to that skateboard facility and the basketball court for next year's capital budget. Because I think it is near and dear to a lot of our young residents here, and I think it's an asset to the city. That said, appreciate everybody's service here in North Canton. It's been a hot summer, and I think to Rob's credit, we've gotten a lot done with contractors in our street projects. So, it really looks nice with all the contractors finishing their jobs. And wish Tim Fox well. That's my report. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Member Warren.
Okay, thank you. Rob, just again, thank you for the projects. I've been doing a lot of walking and running and just different sports in my community, and it's just really looking very nice. I'm impressed too with what the neighbors do to maintain their properties. I know even at my age how sometimes it's hard to get up and take care of your lawn, and so it's just impressive to see that. I wanted to thank Dominic. He had me do that little video in Eastwoods Park, and it got so much traction, Dominic, so thank you. And more importantly, it made people so aware of one of our amenities. And when we have members from our community calling to say they're not moving because of some of those amenities, those are pretty good calls. And for the responses that I got about people not knowing that they were there, or gosh, it was great to see that made me so happy, because that's just a fabulous park that we have down there in Eastwoods. So that was great. Tim Fox, thank you for all that you've done for our city, for your commitment to council, the many members of your own ward when you first started out as council person, and then in the entire city. I know there are great things ahead of you. You are a very well-respected attorney throughout the community, and I know you're going to do great. So thank you for that. And I think that's it.
All right. Thank you, Steph. Member Fonte.
Yes, I just want to say thanks for the service of everybody that's working, and I appreciate the constituents' input always. And Tim, we'll miss you. You were awesome. I thought very highly of you, and hope you have a great future. And yeah, Steph, that was fun. And I'm a big advocate of trying to promote anything that is positive and uplifting, because I think it's too much negativity, too much understated. I recommend all council members come up with something in their ward or council at large of what is a nice amenity that, we know what they are, but I think that's the whole problem about everything is, articulating what it is, how easy it is, how nice it is to our, what are the amenities here? And it took us like what, Steph, 45 seconds? A minute, maybe?
Nothing.
Yeah, and she got, go back and look if you haven't seen it. I mean, she got bombarded with comments. I mean, bombarded. And I'll tell you, and that's a simple thing to do, and we just need to do more of it. That's all I have to say. Thanks again.
I mean, you guys, I might have to resign because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a talk show off of this. So
You might need Ellen.
It's going to be on the Home and Garden channel.
Yeah, there's some openings, I think. And the next time,
yeah,
right. And I didn't tell Gina yet, but when we're both going to get a date and we're going to go to the pickleball courts, and we're both going to be doing the spiel on that day. So Gina, you get ready. We're going to be pickleball.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Around.
Yeah, you guys and your pickleball.
Right. We thought that would be great. And then we'll head to Pabs. So great thing.
Yes. There's a lot of good amenities. Keep promoting them, everybody, because that's help these small people.
All
make
right.
everybody successful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dominic.
You're welcome.
No, member Revolt.
No report.
Okay, member Serrata.
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, Pat, thank you for your update on Dogwood, and I was going to ask about that. Also, before we went on break, I sent a letter to all the counselors and administration, and in that letter explained that I went through that Bitzer Park with Joe Bloomball, Daryl, and Matt, our three council at large. That's why we picked those. And, the design, or Pat said the concept that's in the original thing that was put forward to us to get the approval of the funding was February 2020, was very different than what we're looking at right now. In fact, that design had many of the trees, almost all of them on the sides and some of the middle sides. And I know that the quotes came back and much higher than we originally thought. And I asked that we revisit the design to cut back on some of the very high-end costs, like the total landscaping of the place, or even, the trees. That's a major part of that. And if we can keep some of these trees for more shade-friendly, that's even going to save us money. Not only that, so the design can be adjusted to keep many of the existing trees. I'm all for that for the shade that we need, or add many of the other new trees that are there. So if we can put a sidewalk in and let the trees stay, that's fine. If the trees die later, we work with that. But sidewalks shouldn't be a reason to take down some things that are valuable. When I consider shade is valuable when you've got an amphitheater there and people in the middle of the day. And if we put new trees in there, like I said before, it's going to be years before those things are created enough to give us the shade that we want. So I did ask Pat and Steve to kind of create a redesign meeting. I've not heard anything more about the letter or anything at all. So I would like to get some feedback on that. Also, I'd like to know who actually decided all that. I think this is something that's right downtown in the middle of our town. So the council, or the people, if you want to call it, should be a part of that. So we should have all that ahead of time rather than just get hit by this thing later on. I appreciate the updates, like I said, from Pat on the Dogwood. I'd like to, that also has to do with Children's Hospital, and that's a big deal that we have here. We had that money now or that donation for some time now. I'd like to get an update on that. Also, like to get formal updates on the Kmart and the post office, because people ask me about all this stuff all the time, and I think they deserve an answer, but I don't even know the answer to it. So I'd like to get some updates on all those things for all of us, so we are more fully updated and we can answer some of these questions. Outside of that, another item I'd like to mention is about our recreational backyard fire pits. As the nights get a little colder, folks going to be enjoying their fire pits. And I'd like us to put maybe something out, an informational sheet, a reminder to our community about the rules and or courtesies to neighbors around them. They have to know that, have to get a permit for $10, how far from the house or the neighbors, what they can burn, the smoke and smell issues to neighbors. I've had a couple, and I know the fire department or dispatch does get those also about, the smoke going into neighbor's yard or the smell because they're burning the wrong thing. And so those are just things that, we need to put out. I hope we can do that in some way that it can be helpful to people. And along with that is the courtesies of people to their neighbors along with that, because this is very hard to enforce when things happen at a certain point in time at night. So if we could do something like that and get that out and either on our website or in some way to see if have our community understand that, I think it would be helpful to everyone. And that's my report.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Member Stroyan.
Yeah, a couple things here. Wanted to say thank you to Amy, Joe, and Joseph for speaking. Mark, thanks for the opening prayer. I thought that was really good. Rob and Pat, thanks for the updates. The mayor mentioned briefly about the buses, and man, I see it on Portage that the bus will stop and someone will just fly by on the other side. It is absolutely ridiculous. So with everybody going back, if we could just pay extra careful attention to the crosswalks, the school zones, and as the mayor said, especially when those school buses when they stop, it's crazy how little people pay attention and just fly by. And the bus drivers do a great job. They usually beep and try to pay attention or draw attention to people blowing by that, but it's crazy. I want to say thanks for Tim for his years of service, and I wish you the best. If we could maybe put something, the mayor also mentioned the census, if we could put something on our Facebook page about that and share that, because that is hugely important. We have a good response rate, but it doesn't hurt to get better at that. And just buy and support local if you can. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Matt. And I'll finish up by mentioning a few things here. Stephanie, your video down at Eastwoods Park, that was outstanding. And Dominic, I think you're onto something here. That's something that we should be doing on a regular basis. So well done on that. And Pat, thank you for the update on Dogwood Park. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm really looking forward to that project getting underway. I've had the opportunity to talk to him briefly a couple of different times, one-on-one, and I think the folks of North Canton are really going the final product on this. I'm excited to see it. So again, Patrick, thank you for that. I wanted to just briefly mention Tim Fox, Director of Law. He, served this community for over 9 years. He epitomized honor and integrity, and the city is much better for it and for his service. So for that, I wanted to thank him, wish him well in the future, and that is it. And Daryl, did you want to add? Can I circle back to you? Did you have a comment?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I want to circle back to our discussion of Bitzer Park. And I'd like to very, very gently remind the members of council that the park currently does not conform to Americans with Disability standards. We have numerous trip hazards. The fines are quite extensive, $75,000 and up to $150,000 for a repeated incident. So whatever we propose out here as it ultimately shakes out, I think it is absolutely imperative, simply from an ADA standpoint, that those trip hazards be removed, whatever form. Second, not only do we have an ADA liability, we have a civil liability as well, should someone be injured. So again, whatever the ultimate configuration of the sidewalks is, it's imperative that we remove the trip hazards because the potential consequences are serious. A number of years ago, we had many communities under the legal gun because their pedestrian crossings didn't have the little ramps that we all see. So just be mindful that while we're talking about the environment, the trees and configuration, we really have some legal issues out here we need to address. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Daryl. Okay, and final call for new business. If you'll excuse me, I forgot to add this to the consideration portion of the meeting. May I have a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include the separation agreement with Director of Law, Timothy Fox,
Revolt
and to
moves.
waive any committee report.
Revolt moves.
Marin, second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Now, at this time, I will ask for a motion and a second to approve the separation agreement with Tim Fox, Director of Law.
By roll call?
Yes, by. Do I have a motion and a second?
Revolt moves.
Marin, second.
Revolt moves. Do I have a second? Was that Steph? You?
Yep.
Okay. Ben, please call the roll.
Member Fonte?
Yes.
Member Stretta?
Yes.
Member Stroya?
Yes.
Member Foltz?
Yes.
Member Warren?
Yes.
Member Revolt?
Yes.
And President Peters?
Yes.
7-4-0 against.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Meetings calendar. Next week, August 31st, Committee of the Whole. And the following week is Labor Day, and we will not be meeting that week. So that concludes our agenda. I'll entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
Revolt moves.
Second, Stroya.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. We are adjourned. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.
See you.